Good morning, my esteemed viewers. This is Trend Media Views, and we are looking at the major issue happening in Nigerian political landscape and the world generally. With me is the Punch newspaper, and we are looking at what we have on the front page. The major headline says, "Federal government dismisses coup fear. Ex-generals warn politicians against poor governance." I think that is a major one in Africa, and we are seeing what is happening here. Labour lists grievances, begin warning strike Tuesday. Federal government plans review as tax waivers gulf 6 trillion annually, 6 trillion naira annually. Mr. Raf,
yes.
Let us quickly have you on this program. There seems to be a wave of military takeover. We are seeing the one in Niger. As the dust is trying to settle, we saw another one in Gabon.
And they are all French speaking.
Yeah, all francophone.
Yeah.
And there are speculation that for Biya, who is the president of Cameroon, who have ruled for 40 years.
40 years, yes.
That
Since 1984.
So what is your general reaction?
My reaction is that francophones, all the French-speaking countries in Africa, are just waking up, because you find out that during the scrambling for independence, the late 50s, the whole world, especially Europeans, Africans, we think it is time to liberate the dark continent to be on their own. That is, to be managing their natural resources, to govern themselves. So as we see the colonizers, they left us in 1960s, but behind, they were still operating on the continent of Africa. Zapping, ferrying, that is carrying away the resources of this continent into Europe, the same Europe.
But if I may ask Mr. Arab, we have seen a trend in Africa that has to do with stay put mentality.
Yeah, stay put.
We understand that the Gabon president that was ousted in office recently, the father ruled for 41 years.
Yes.
And himself, have ruled for 14 years. He allegedly won another election. So is this something you want to speak to? Is it that mentality of stay put in power that is necessitating the military takeover we are seeing?
Yes. What we are seeing here is sit tight leadership. Somebody being authoritative, holding on to power more than 20 years, 30 years, even up to 50-something years. I didn't understand, because if you read the lineage of the Bongos was there during the war, Nigerian Biafran civil war, until he dies. Then his son took over from him. It is not a family business. Leadership is either you are operating under federalism or the other, ideology, government ideology. Like, what I believe here is that the leadership is when you are charismatic, when you are doing well, you either operate 4 years based on federalism, presidential system of government, or you extend it to 5 years, but let it be turn by turn or by election. So what is happening is that the tight leadership is because of spate of coup across the continent, especially again the francophones. The issue of long tenure or overstaying is that the French is the one, their colonizer, they are the one orchestrating it. You conducted an election, the so-called French observers come, because they must surely come, it's their colonies. After observing it, they go back to Europe, actually knowing that the person that won the election did not win, and they cannot take action against these greedy politicians that will not win the election, and they still stay put, and the colonizer still support him. So if you ask me, I will tell you that France, as a nation, European country, is the cause of this coup. Let me tell you, if they don't support the riggers, election riggers, they won't have any reason to stay there.
Now, if we look at Guinea,
yes,
the president that happens to be the longest serving president in Africa.
Yes, it's a Portuguese country.
Then let us shift attention to Cameroon. because we understand that even the current president, the son, Frank Biya, is technically being positioned to take over for the father.
Thank you.
Do you think it's something that should be discouraged?
Let me tell you, it should be highly discouraged. Even that he has done reshuffling in among in the army, Cameroonian army. The generals that were either retrenched or retired will still plan coup outside the government with the service chief, the current serving military. They must oust him because leaving him there, Pobia is going to put his son, as did Emeka Oman Bango. I don't understand. So the issue now is that let me clearly give you the clarity on this Cameroonian story. Say in 1986, Julius Nyerere resigned. Leopold Senghor of Senegal resigned. Amada Ahidjo of Cameroon resigned earlier than they. I was in secondary school then. So earlier than these two, Leopold Senghor and Julius Nyerere of Tanzania. Amada Ahidjo of Cameroon resigned and later he became sick and died. Then Pobia was there since. Yes, Pobia was there almost 40 years now. Do you see how painful it is? And these are Francophones.
But Mr. Arab, let me bring you to Nigeria.
So Pobia is overdue to get away from there.
Let me bring you to Nigeria. Because what we are seeing here on the major headline on Punch newspaper, it says federal government dismisses coup fear. Ex-generals warn politicians against poor governance. Now the question is, some people have argued that Nigerian scenario is quite different from all these other African countries because even if we say the election is marked with irregularity, but we are seeing change of government from another politician to another politician. But is it true that from what we have in Nigeria that coup is not imminent?
See, let me tell you, whether the governance of a particular person is bad, person's regime is bad or good, Nigeria must bring another person because we operate under presidential system of government. Your tenure is 4 years. Nigerians, we are always patient to wait. No matter how bad the person, is, no matter how excruciating the governance, the situation or the system is, Nigeria must be patient waiting for you the next 4 years. I didn't understand. That's why our case is different. We operate presidential system of government, and everybody is abiding by the principles of federalism or presidential system. So let me tell you, our one is very different from theirs. Nigerians is 4-4. Cameroon, tell me how many years?
Meaning there is no fear of military takeover.
No, military takeover cannot work again because Obasanjo had pact. He signed pact with America.
They said the second part
they can never take coup.
He said ex-generals warn politicians against poor governance. Meaning poor governance could necessitate military takeover
in Nigeria. Is true. No, it is true. It is quite possible.
Now talk to us more about poor governance in Nigeria.
Poor governance in Nigeria, you see, let me tell you, everybody said, I have heard in the recent time, I have always been hearing this, that the worst civilian regime is better than any good military regime.
Is this something you concoct?
No, I'm telling you, I can never. I'm a Nigerian. I tell you that any military regime, military is the best option for Nigerians because we could see the First Republic. First Republic, was during the time of Nnamdi Azikiwe. Nzog struck because of what? The profiteering of politicking in Nigeria. They are making money out of politics. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and the rest of them in the southwest here, whereby Akintola and Awolowo want to butcher themselves alive. What are they fighting for? They are fighting for the money, resources. So these young officers, they were aggrieved. Then a coup led by Emmanuel Fajuna, executed by the then brightest soldier Nigeria has ever had. That's what I call the man. Chukwu Makanuna Nzogu, in his late 20s, they staged it because of corruption. Poor governance. From Nzogu to Ironsi, and Rejetu Ironsi has no issue. They just murdered Ironsi because some regions in Nigeria were aggrieved over the first coup by Nzogu that it was just targeted on their people alone. So then let us have a look at Chagari. Shagari regime from 1979, that's after Obasanjo, after same military. Shagari regime could not thrive well. Barely 4 years, we had austerity measure in Nigeria, corruption. Omar Ridiko absconded into the UK with tune of how many billions of naira then, when naira was more valuable than dollars. He absconded with billions. The same military came back again in eve of 1984. That's the 31st December 1983. Then they chased these people out. I didn't understand. So when Buhari was there, it was too obvious that Buhari was too high-handed. I don't know how to describe
high-handedness.
Thank you, high-handedness. So let me tell you, Babangida came in. From Babangida now, after 8 years, that's why I tell you, anything in Nigeria is 4-4-4. After 8 years, we see Abacha. Abacha was not happy. Then again, we see democracy. We call it a nascent democracy from 1999. My brother, from 1999 till date, it was all bad governance.
Now, Mr. Araf, the late Fela described democracy in Africa as
a demonstration of grace. Yes, Africans are not matured for
that brings me
to
the next question.
Yeah.
Because there's a school of thought that says fear greed Nigerian government and African countries over the coup that is sweeping across Africa, particularly ECOWAS country.
Yeah.
Is it true that Nigerian government is afraid of a military takeover?
Nigerian government will be afraid of government military takeover. Matthew, number one is that this current regime, as we have been hammering and happening on and on, is an illegitimate government. And not that the previous government was so good. The previous government was as bad as this current government, which the whole Nigerians wanted to live a sigh of relief that Labour Party won an election and Tinubu seized power. See, the military are not happy, Matthew, let me tell you. So it's just like, it's a wake-up call from the Francophones. I'm telling you, Matthew, no matter the pack or bond, military bond Obasanjo signed with America, coup in Nigeria is imminent. So imminent. It can happen anytime because there's nothing is working in Nigeria. The politicians are over corrupt. They even make some statement that is not advisable. Something that a leader shouldn't say.
Now, what do you say?
See, let me tell you, it is very, very possible that bad governance could, culminate to.
Now, what do you think the president or the government under the leadership of Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu could do to avert a possible coup in Nigeria?
Number one, open the border and allow food to come in. Soldiers are hungry too. See, you buy fuel 700, I buy fuel 700, police buy fuel 700. Nobody has a monopoly to buy fuel 200. That price is there. People are suffering. Soldiers are suffering. Soldiers don't eat rice. They have mouth. They consume like us. They are human beings like you and I. And all these are sending messages to them across all the barracks in Nigeria. Now, nobody knows what is going to happen the next hour. Because the military, you see, they are like cults. They are cultism. I'm telling you, they are one all over the world. They have same language, martial language. They have everything same. I think understand. Let me tell you, these people, they can strike anytime. I'm telling you.
Mr. Araf, some people have argued that labor union is dead in Nigeria.
Yeah, I told you now when there was.
We are seeing here. He said labor lists his grievances, begins warning strike Tuesday. Is this what you want to react to?
Yes, I want to react because I know. I think during the commencement of media, I think DM media. Yes, when we started was the first time in this regime, Labour was about, unleash their uprising against this government. And we are saying that Labour will go nowhere. They are not doing anything, that they won't do anything. And at the end of the day, they postpone it to the other mode, 14th. Do you understand? From that 14th till today, Labour did not do anything. Now, the whole Nigerians, all of us believe that they have been, bought over by Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime. And you can see what happened. Nobody had anything about Labour again. So they were just threatening backing like what? Hungry dogs. See, they are not doing anything. Labour, there's no Labour in Nigeria. What we have now is Labour Party. We don't have labor as union that can
formidable force.
thank you, formidable force that can partner with TUC, Trade Union Congress,
put pressure on
thank
government.
you, to put pressure on government, and that's the only tool we have in Nigeria, especially Nigeria, to fight government in Nigeria. Because you don't go as individual. If you go, Nigerian government, they will kill you, or police will shoot you. But if labor than tool, I think government is going to do otherwise. I'm telling you, do whatever they ask them to do.